So far, I've earned up to $60,000. So through this, and even recently, I don't want to talk about the past years. So like this year, since December 2023 to this month. So just a single company, a single Switzerland company has paid me over 3 million naira.
Wow, that's
So through this
interesting.
bug bounty hunting, just a single company. And
So guys, welcome to SC CyberSafe. So in today's video, we'll be looking at a very interesting topic, which is how to get started in bug bounty. I know there are so many beginners in cybersecurity that don't know what bug bounty is, but this is an avenue for you to make money without getting maybe an actual job or a 9 to 5. You could make money in different ways. So I'm with a practitioner or someone that is in this role and is here to share with us his experience and how you could typically get into that cybersecurity pathway, how you could make money, how you could, just enjoy this interview and yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. All right, so here with me is Koi. So in case his name is Koi Emerald, or it goes by Koi Emerald, and so I'll just allow him to do a brief introduction of himself. So Koi, welcome. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you got into bug bounty? I mean, bug bounty and VAPT, because I think you do both. So, VAPT is vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. I know you might have more strong suits in one, but I mean, you do both. So, can you tell us your background? Where did you start from? Did you do history or something? Just go ahead.
so my name is Oyetunde Yunus. So that's my native name, but globally, cyberly known as Koi Emerald. So I've been an ethical hacking trainer for the past 10 years ago. So I'll be doing ethical hacking. So this ethical hacking, just like we all know, it is just one of the numerous things under the domain of cybersecurity. So and since I've started this ethical hacking, so I also started the bug bounty hunting, which is also one important areas in the field of ethical hacking. So I started it like maybe 8 to 9 years ago, almost the same time that I started the ethical hacking. I started the bug bounty early too.
That's interesting. So, did you do what was your undergraduate like, or is it what was that like? Do you have to go? Did you go through any formal? Like I know some people that are into cybersecurity now. Some did maybe some did HND in something, some did BS in something, maybe history, maybe biology, maybe even computer science. So, what was your background like before even getting to cybersecurity or before starting to do cybersecurity?
That was interesting. Actually, I learned hacking by doing it. So I have never attended any institution. So aside of going to secondary school, so it was after I graduated at secondary school. So I hacking or the cybersecurity itself is a personal discovery for me. I've been doing it even before realizing what actually it is. So, and the reason why, or what actually inspired me to start this bug bounty hunting is of course, since I've realized myself that, oh, I couldn't attend or proceed in institution going to school. So, and I also need money or to find the ends meet, so to survive. So, just like I've said somewhere before, it's been long I've said this, that it is Atije Atimu. So that's how Yoruba say it. That's actually inspired me to begin this bug bounty hunting. So I've never attended any computer science class before to learn this.
Yeah, that's really amazing because most people think you must, because people keep asking me, people that are trying to get into cybersecurity, those that just finished secondary school, they come to ask me, do I need to study computer science, or do I need to like go into do I need to study cybersecurity as an undergraduate program? And I tell them, well, if you can find cybersecurity as an undergraduate program is fine. If you can find computer science, is also fine because then you're going more broad. But I think the most important thing is right now there are lots of resources out there that will really help you and polish you even more than what you would receive in any tertiary education, especially here in Nigeria. So I just tell them, you know what you want. If you already know what cybersecurity entails, then the whole tertiary institution is not. It's good, it's essential, but you need the personal drive to pick different resources from different places and then learn what you want to learn. So that's really interesting. Just to I know there are some people that are watching this that are not sure or they don't know what bug bounty is. So can you sort of tell us the roles and responsibilities of someone into bug bounty? Like, what do you typically do if you say you're in bug bounty? What are the things you do?
Okay, thank you. The bug bounty hunting, so it is just one out of the numerous things that an ethical hacker can do. So, and it is one of the cheapest and easiest way to engage or to get started in ethical hacking because a lot of people want to make money and so many people who don't want to engage in illegal activities. So this bug bounty hunting is a legal and approved method of hacking, whether it is websites or applications or anything hosted on the internet. So it is a legal means of doing it. So, and in return, the organization or the vendor of the affected products so are willing to reward. So that is, if you are able to identify any security loopholes in any of their digital assets, whether it is websites or applications, many organizations are willing to reward. So either in cash or by giving recognition that is the Hall of Fame. So for doing it. So the responsibility of an ethical of a bug bounty hunter is just to identify the loopholes. So for whoever has what it takes to break the any of the security, to break the security of anything hosted online. So instead of abusing that, so you can responsibly report such discovery or such vulnerability to the concerned or the affected products, and to in return they are willing to give money in exchange for that.
So yeah, that is interesting. You talked about they are willing to pay money. So it's really an interesting topic. So we'll get to that point. But before we get there, now you've given us an idea of what bug bounty is. So basically there are lots of vulnerabilities on different platforms, different applications, web applications, different servers, even sometimes, even without the skills of bug bounty or skills of ethical hacking. I know how many times one of my students will see a website that has some issues, but you don't know what to do. You don't know what dangers that stuff will pose. In a way, this is what differentiates a normal person from someone that is in bug bouncing. Someone that has the concept of VAPT and who is also into bug bounty can easily say, "Oh, this is looking like a vulnerability. I can easily report this to the organization using the knowledge I have." So what are the skills and knowledge that are sort of essential for someone that is starting into bug bounty or ethical hacking or VAPT in general? What are the things they need to learn? Do they need to learn networking, or what are the things so that those that want to get into this pathway would know what to do?
For the bug bounty hunting, so the actual knowledge or the essential skills that are needed before someone can participate or engage in it. So it's curiosity. Because the bug bounty hunting is 100% hackers' role. That is, it is only hackers that can participate in it. So when we call someone a hacker, so being a cybersecurity professional and being a hacker again, are two different things. Someone can be practicing cybersecurity and not even focusing on how to the security concept of whether it is web applications, although it is advisable or recommended for almost everybody to also learn about the hacking itself. So for anyone who wants to engage in bug bounty hunting, such
Okay.
person has to know about how to break things. So the curiosity and what makes a hacker is not even the tools or the OS Just like I always say, especially through on my Twitter page, that the OS or the operating system someone may be using doesn't or won't define the productivity of that person. So it is mindset and creativity. So that because there are a lot of logical issues
Okay.
that companies are willing to pay for, even it's because it is not always all the time they pay for technical issues. There are some behaviors or there are some vulnerability that
Okay.
we to them they will consider it as acceptable issues since it may have less impact on their uh, products. So once we focus, we know about the security concept or anything that will affect both the confidentiality, integrity, and the availability of that is CIA. Anything that will affect both any of these, so it's considered once we possess the skills and the knowledge. There are some issues that even the company may not be aware of them. So if you can prove it to them that, oh, if they did not take care of this, so it can lead to this. As long as you can prove, give them the proof of concepts that, oh, this is a serious issue. And you could also explain how negligence or ignoring such thing could damage either their reputation or the availability of their products. They are willing to pay for it. So one just have to become a hacker. So you must know how to break things. So before you can engage in it.
Okay. So typically, from what you've said, that means one needs to have knowledge of ethical hacking, which is like very important. So this leads me to the next question. So what are the tools that one requires, or what are the technologies that one requires to be able to get into this line of or this pathway of cybersecurity? I know some tools could be Kali, but are there specific other tools that you can share with us?
Tools don't make hackers. Hackers build the tools.
Okay, interesting.
So
Interesting.
the important tool that someone needs to have before he or she can be successful in this bug bounty hunting is to work on his or her skills, on the mindset and the brain. As we all know, we have the hardware and the software and the humanware. Both the software and the hardware, they are useless. So without the operators, the person operating them. So even no matter how good the tools, any tool may be, whether it is any program, so no matter how good it is, so if someone cannot understand the full scope of or the in-depth knowledge of the flow of an application, so there may not be a positive result. So there is actually no specific tools that is required. As for an instance, I've never even used a Linux to carry out any of my hacking operation since the past 10 years ago. So I've always been a Windows user. So, so if truly, or if tools, or if there is a specific tools that are really required. So I would have been forced to switch to the Linux because Linux comes with a lot of pre-installed hacking programs. But on the contrary, when it comes to bug bounty hunting, so there's not any specific tools. Even the companies you are working for are not even expecting you to be running the automation method or to be carrying out because they can also afford those programs. They also have their own hackers working for them. So if you are using any tools or any scanners to send them the report or to
Yeah.
investigate their assets, so the chances of getting the duplicates so it's very high. So and they don't pay for it. So they believe that oh they are already aware of that particular issue. So hacker just has to focus, or the researcher just has to focus on the mindset and the creativity. So creativity is the most important thing when it comes to bug bounty hunting, ability to think logically. So there are so many hackers that have severally got paid simply for reporting the logical business logic error issues. So they don't even focus on the tech part, the technical part. So there's not any specific tools that is needed.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. So my mindset has always been although I knew about maybe the logical parts and maybe the operational parts of the way this organization operates it could lead them to some form of vulnerability and all operational vulnerabilities or issues. But I was always, and most people always think more of the technical parts when it comes to bug bounty. They'll think, oh,
Sorry for interrupting you. So when it comes to the technical part too, of course, we have the list of vulnerabilities is long. So there are too numerous vulnerabilities. So that do affect the web applications. And I'm happy to let you know that even those technical issues such as SQL injections, the open URL redirection, so HTML injection, cross-site scripting, and so
yeah,
many
so
of them. So there are still
yeah,
lots of ways. One unique things about me is that all these vulnerabilities that look more
yeah.
technical, so there are still other advanced and unique manual ways of identifying them. So even without running any program.
That's really interesting. I would also love to learn that because I think most people are always, and that's the problem I always say, especially with we here in Nigeria, we are always end users. We just like using tools. We go to Kali, we just use one tool. But these tools are created by people. I think that I was supposed to do a video relating to that. I think we should try to see or try to be the ones creating these tools and not always trying to automate everything. There was a particular job role I saw, and it said something like manual ethical hacker needed. I think it was Bank of America or something. I was like, which one is manual pen tester needed? So it was when I started making research that I knew that they were looking for someone that is not just going to use all these tools, existing tools, to just scan and scan and scan. They needed someone that could like check these things without utilization of tools, and then also maybe in the end go hand in hand. So it's really interesting. I would really love to learn more about how you do those things, and I'm sure that people that are watching would also want to learn from you or learn most of these things that you talked about. We last spoke about you having the ability to manually identify some of these vulnerabilities without even needing to. So now this leads me to the 10th question. Um, are there any particular platforms or resources that you would recommend for learning and practicing these skills? Because I know so many people would be like, oh, how can I learn this bug bounty? Is there a course? Is there a program that I could typically learn from and that will guide me towards going into this pathway?
Okay, so since especially through my social media platforms, I've also received similar requests that, oh, Koi, we are also interested in learning this bug bounty hunting, or even some have also explained their encounters that, oh, they've tried severally on how to identify a particular loopholes and they've not been successful in reporting a valid issues. So therefore, since the beginning of this year, so I drafted a course. So I created a course, so tagged specifically for this bug bounty hunting. So to simplify the processes and make everyone to bring more people into this bug bounty hunting. So and to simplify the process and to help them to break down the process. So by mentioning the working methods for them on how they can easily
Okay.
identify these
Okay.
any of the vulnerabilities, even without having a prior knowledge of hacking or with zero coding skills. So I have a course
Okay.
so
So
on that.
I assume it's a paid course. So what is the cost and how can you subsidize it for, I mean, those that are watching us and those that are actually interested in subscribing to this course? Because yeah, I've seen the course and I know it's a very useful course. I was even surprised and the things I heard and the things that I've seen. So how can you subsidize it, or what's the cost and what's it like, so that those that are interested would be able to subscribe to it?
Original cost of the bug bounty of this course so has been $100 for the first 50 people so who are interested in also subscribing or purchasing this course. So I will be giving them the discounts of $30. That is, they can pay $70. So which is equivalent to maybe around 100,000 in Nigerian currency. So
Okay, so that's really interesting. So thank you for that. So for those that are really interested in learning bug bounty, you want to go further and you want to explore this, get knowledge from someone that is already doing this and not just doing it, someone that has made money doing it. So we'll talk about that. You need to consider go to the description, click on the link there, then it will take you to where you can subscribe for the course. So it's really, I'm sure you would really find it useful. And I think if I'm not mistaken, you have live sessions in the subscription, right?
of course, yes. For the subscribers, there will also be aside of the live session, so there is also a learning platform. So to meet with other subscribers too. So to learn together. So through that platform, so I also offer mentorship on this bug bounty hunting course too. So plus the live session through the Google Meets.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. Thank you for that, really, because I think the problem most beginners have or most cybersecurity enthusiasts have is that you might be willing to learn something, but one, you might not have enough push. You might not have people to push you. You might not have people to encourage you. You might not have people to say, "Oh, I've done this. Have you done this?" Yeah, there's what they call them in cybersecurity. I can't remember the name. Just cybersecurity bodies. I can't remember what it is, but what is good about this is that you have people that also subscribe with the course with you, so you can also reach out to them. If there are any issues, you can share on the group. They'll say, "Oh, this is how I did it. This is what I found." Even success stories, people say, "Oh, I got this job. I did this. I did that." So it's going to be really beneficial. And then the most important thing, which you don't really see in most places, is the live sessions. So live sessions are really important because then you get to speak with the tutor directly, so you're not just watching any random video on YouTube, which is like the difference. If you go to YouTube, you would see lots of videos you just watch, and in the end, when you have questions, you leave them on the comment section and nobody's responding, or you have questions and even when you get response, it's not so clear. But this, with the live sessions, you can always ask the tutor even in the class and outside the class and say, "Oh, I have these issues," or "I have this experience," and then it's really going to, the live session just makes this really useful. So like I said, for the first 50 people to click on the link and then go ahead to subscribe for this particular course, you'll get to pay the subsidized rate of 100,000 in naira, and also around 70 to 80 dollars in dollars for those that are outside of Nigeria. So really you should really jump on this if you are interested in getting to the part of going through the part of a bug bounty hunter. So I just want to still talking about this now. Can you share with us how much someone could um, realistically make from bug bounty and VAPT? Because for those that don't know, people make money, or people have jobs such as bug bounty. That's what they typically do, and people make money from platforms like Apple and bigger companies, even smaller companies. So it's not always bigger companies, but people make a lot of money. So can you share with us like how much someone could realistically make, maybe how much you've made and how much you've heard that someone has made? So can you just share that knowledge with us?
So that's a nice and interesting question. So I will reference to myself. So in the past 10 years, so of doing this bug bounty hunting, so far, so I've earned up to $60,000. So through this, and even recently, I don't want to talk about the past years. So like this year, since December 2023 till this month. So just a single company, a single Switzerland company has paid me over 3 million naira.
Wow, that's
So through this
interesting.
bug bounty hunting, just a single company. And Airtel, I mean the popular Airtel network, the popular
Wow.
network provider Airtel, they recently paid me too. So through this bug bounty hunting. So there is actually no exact amount. Someone could make even 100 million. I'm not trying to exaggerate it. So recently, a friend of mine even earned $5,000 for just 10 minutes findings. So that was maybe 2 weeks ago now. So there is no specific amount that someone could earn, even in a day.
So I think that's a really good response, because I know in my own experience, I know that um, while some people could make a lot of money maybe in a day, some make it in months. It all depends on, first of all, the company that you're doing the bug bounty for. Some will pay higher. Obviously, if you are doing bug bounty for Microsoft or Apple, so there are different factors that determines how much you make. But typically, people make money from this platform. So um, still speaking about the money, what are the avenues through which one can make money in bug bounty and VAPT? Is there like some websites you can register to, or do you reach out to this company? So what are the ways, if there are more than one way?
Okay, there are some factors to consider before identifying or recognizing that, oh, this particular company or organization is willing to pay me for responsibly reporting an issue to them. So, firstly, we have some platforms, reputable organizations that serve as intermediary between the ethical hackers, between the researchers and the companies. So that is companies like Apple, Google, Microsoft, and including some banks
Company.
like Western Union and all other organizations have registered in these platforms too. So whoever has what it takes. So a bug bounty hunter that is an ethical hacker or a researcher that wants to hack and get paid can just go to any of these platforms and register as a researcher, then pick the program, then begin the operation. So we have programs like HackerOne, Yes We Hack, Integrity, Issue Hunt, Bug Crowd, so and even Synapse. So we have so many of them, and they are very reputable organizations. So a lot of companies there. You just have to go there as long as you've acquired the skills of to hack the web application, you have what it takes. So you just have to go there to register in any of these mentioned programs. So register there and select any of your favorites or any programs. So, and there are still other advanced way. There are still other advanced and unique ways of identifying or finding a private companies, because bug bounty hunting can be competitive. So it now takes a lot of people also want to make money. A lot of people are now engaging or coming into this field. So, but in my course, I've simplified and mentioned the unique ways to
Ways.
identify the websites or the companies that have less or little or even no hackers that are working with them.
Wow.
Although they are willing, they are ready to pay, but no
Yeah.
hackers have discovered them. So I have many companies like
Yeah.
that, so that I've used my own method to identify them. So
Yeah. So it's really good, because you mentioned that it's like all these things you stated them in the course, and I'm sure people would also have more questions. So again, this is another avenue to quickly consider subscribing to that particular course. You would really enjoy it. I would also be there. So if you have any questions, if you have any thing you need to know, again, I'm not in the ethical part of cybersecurity. I'm more into the blue teaming part of cybersecurity, where we just do monitoring and defense. I'm not more into the offensive part, which is the ethical hacking and all this other part. But I would also be there. So if there are questions, if there's anything you have more than two, at least you have both I and Koi, and then other maybe one more tutor that could also be there to guide you throughout this journey. So that is really interesting. He has mentioned the platforms. So I want to ask another question, because I'm sure this is a challenge which I had. Even most people getting started into cybersecurity had the same challenge. Um, you could you probably started cybersecurity, you finished learning the basics. Now you are looking for an entry role job, and it's been a while and you're not getting any entry role job. Some just get frustrated. Oh, I've finished learning, I've taken ISC square CC, I've taken CompTIA certification, and I always tell people certifications are really not, it's not something you always, it's not, once you get certifications or not, it does not guarantee anything. So I would link that video also in the description. You can watch that video, or you can check out the cybersecurity playlist. Certifications are not so, they are good, but they are not what you should so much bother yourself about. So it's really important that we find ways or other ways in which we can make money aside just sitting and waiting for 9 to 5 jobs. So I know some platforms like, because I've used Upwork, I've used Freelancer, I've used Fiverr, which Fiverr is sort of my favorite. And these are ways I've seen people make money. I've seen people doing bug bounty. I've seen people assisting people to find vulnerabilities in their applications, in their operations, in lots of stuff. So there are ways in which you position yourself after getting this knowledge that would assist you to make money on those freelancing platforms. So as a freelancer, you don't need to sit down, or you have your time. You don't need to sit in any 9 to 5 job to make your money. So I'm sure in this course also you will gain all this knowledge. You will see how to create a Fiverr account, Upwork account, and those stuff, and how to set up yourself in a way that you get called, or you get these gigs or these jobs, like people call it. So thank you for that. I'm sure what some questions that some people might also have now is, what are some of the biggest challenges you faced in your bug bounty and VAPT journeys throughout your 10 years? Are there any issues? Again, when I'm talking about issues, I'm talking about during the bug bounty, or maybe legal issues, because I know there's obviously a legal line when it comes to what you do. So are there any challenges or issues you face, or maybe there are none, but I would like to hear that.
Firstly, the bug bounty hunting is not illegal. So that is, it is legal. So it is an approved method.
Yeah.
So therefore, there is not really any legal consequences in engaging in it. However, there are still some frustrations. So I won't sugarcoat this.
Yeah.
So there are still some frustrations. So sometimes it takes patience, because like maybe last year, so when I ethically hacked Google, Apple, and Microsoft just in a month. So, and till now, so I'm still the only recognized security researcher, so by Apple, so in Nigeria now. So it took me almost a year before the Apple to fix one of the critical issues that I reported to them. So therefore, the time or the patience can be one of the factors. So sometimes you just have to exercise more patience, because it can be frustrating. Oh, are they not going to reply? So because sometimes we even be giving them tough time at their own ends before being able to reproduce or fixing a reported issue. And again, the other challenges of issues that a bug bounty hunter may also encounter could be getting the duplicates. Sometimes your findings might be marked as duplicate, that, oh, Koi, this has earlier been reported by someone before you. So,
wow.
So that way you might have even spent many hours before identifying that
time
issue. So like currently, so I've submitted like 13 issues to At&C, the popular network, one of the popular network providers in US. At&C network. So I reported, like, this will be the 14th day. So yes, I reported like 16 or 14 issues to them. So they marked the 13 out of that 14 issue as duplicates. So some they mark some as informative, that, oh, it is not, there's no any serious impacts in them. But one out of that 14 submitted issues, it is only one now. So they are likely to approve that one. So that one, they asked me to wait. Even till this one, they said, oh, wait, we are still trying to investigate to determine the severity of that issue. So the most challenges, the most difficult challenges in this bug bounty hunting is delay or getting the duplicate response. So maybe if you report something, once you reported anything to the company, they say, oh, what you reported to them has been reported earlier. So, the bug bounty hunting is a transparent something. So company has no any reason to even tell you otherwise. So it is very transparent job. It is not it is first come, first served activity. So that's just the only challenge that is there. Aside of that, there is no any other legal issue, no police case, or no any law enforcement officers. Because even most of these law enforcement officers, so especially the international police, they also have this VRP program, which is vulnerability reward program. So it could be the BBP or VDP. So it
Yeah.
is legal. So there's no any cause of alarm or worry.
This is really interesting. I'm sure most people are hearing terms that they've never heard before. So these are the things that again you would learn in the course. So moving forward, what would you say you find most rewarding as being in the line of bug bounty and penetration testing? What do you say you enjoy mostly about it? Because some people have that challenge of, oh, how do I know I would really enjoy going into this pathway? Because there are lots of pathways in cybersecurity. There's the GRC, there's the red teaming, or there's maybe incident responders, there's the reverse engineering. There are different pathways. So how would someone know, okay, if I decide to get into this pathway, I will most likely enjoy it? What has it been like to you? What do you find most rewarding? Is it the money, or is it you finding out the actual vulnerabilities, or what do you find rewarding in this pathway?
Firstly, in all honesty, money is motivation. So getting money is a motivation itself. So, but beyond the bounties, beyond the money that someone will be deriving from this bug bounty on team, so it also exposes someone and also improve the ethical hacking skills. Because so generally the most interesting parts of cybersecurity is ethical hacking. So and this bug bounty hunting, it only involves hacking. So you break things, so you secure it. Wow. So even engaging with different companies, for example, it exposes me to a lot of developers. It allows me to interact with a lot of security team in many organizations. So if not through the hacking, and it also allows me to meet with different hackers across the world. So there is no discrimination in hacking. So everybody are mates. So we share knowledge together. So it exposes us to latest threats. So and to know more about any vulnerabilities or any discoveries. So
Okay.
it is 100% interesting and fun. So and beyond that, we still be earning, and also even if it is getting the fame or recognition. So this bug bounty hunting also allows that to be possible. As I am now, it is through this bug bounty hunting that I got recognized by the Kwara State government. So I'm not a political person, but it was when I successfully Apple like 4 times. So only in 2024, I was able to identify issues through this bug bounty hunting, and they mentioned my name in their security page that, oh, Emerald has responsibly do this and that for them like 4 times. So, and it gave me fame. I was very happy that, oh, wow. So the whole governor of the state could mention my name and posted me on different news platform on his page. So that itself is a motivation. It helps me to keep going, to stay positive. And beyond that, it also allows me to contribute to the safety of the internet. So, and even instead of hunting for jobs, bug bounty hunting allows me not to even bother myself because it requires no certifications or no resume. So once you possess the skills, so it is also cheap. So being cheap, because I actually hate anything that takes money out of my pocket. So
So yeah, everybody does. Me too. I don't like anything that takes money out of my pocket too. But yeah, it's except maybe when I want to learn, then
of
obviously
course.
I don't mind paying to get to learn. So that's really it's good that you've said that it's really rewarding. Aside the recognition, the fame, the money you're making, you enjoying what you do. So I'm sure anybody that's listening to this would also be interested in all this that they've heard so far. So, how do you continuously? Because I know one has to keep learning, continuous learning. One has to keep learning, especially in this cybersecurity field. What was for example today now what we used to call man in the middle attack is now what they call on path attack. That's on-path. So things are changing every day, especially in cybersecurity world. And so in your own line, how do you get to stay ahead or how do I put it? How do you remain valid, or how do you retain your knowledge in, or how do you improve your knowledge in this path?
I think the perfect way to keep updating someone in this field is to keep hacking and keep doing it responsibly. Because the more you hack, the more you get exposed to people. This it works like this. The more they review their codes, because once we report an issue to the company, they change their code, they will update it. So you just have to begin the you also be exposed and be familiar with their new code. Oh, they've changed to this. So by staying up to date, by keeping research, continue research, so we make someone to keep updating and keep improving. So in this fit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you. That's really interesting. So, can you sort of what advice would you give to someone that's beginners that are just getting started in maybe cybersecurity and are interested in this bug bounty and VAPT? What do you tell them? Someone should come and meet you now and say, I'm interested. I want to get started. How do we get started? So I know you've said one. The person should at least consider subscribing to this course. So what would you tell the person again if the person wants to get started? What are the things you would tell the person?
I wouldn't advise their first motive to be the making money, although it is 100% certain that they will get money. So no knowledge is waste. It is 100% certain because bug bounty hunting itself even
Yeah.
only focuses on that money making. So it is a way to monetize their hacking skills. But as a beginner, I will advise anyone who is interested in learning it to just be more curious in learning and acquiring the skills. Once you understand what it takes, like immediately it was maybe January, yes, January or the early February of this year. So when I started selling the course, I'm 100% sure few of those, maybe like about 20% of the subscribers of my course, after they purchase that course, it is not even been up to a month. They've started making the money. So, but if their motive has been
Making
getting
money.
that money, God, they won't even pay attention to understand the logic behind it, how to penetrate, how to do it.
Yeah.
So, but if someone is curious to learn, to acquire the knowledge, so the curiosity, they should just be curious and ready to learn. And again, so they should not rely on the use of tools, of any tools, whether it is Linux or anything. They should just believe in themselves. Oh, yes, because tools they are just like a set of instructions of another programmers. So once you rely on the use of that, it means that you are still working in the domain of that programmer. So a hacker must be someone that is willing to think outside the box.
Yeah.
If someone wants to easily catch the bug and the severe issues, so worthy and rewardable vulnerabilities, they shouldn't rely on the use of another programmer's program. So I don't see any these scripts I wouldn't be able to do. Although those tools are also meant to save the time and the stress. But for the bug bounty hunting,
Yeah.
the companies are more interested in something unique, in your own in personal findings. If me and you are running the same tools and we are testing the same targets, so there is chance that probability of getting the same results is very certain that, oh, we are using the same, for example, we are running the SQL map. I'm also running the SQL map and I'm testing the same targets for emerald.com as an example now. I'm testing it, you are testing it. So we are using the same scanner. So we will get the same outputs. My own network strength may just determine or may affect the outputs results. So even though
That's
they
really
will eventually be using the tools or any programs, it shouldn't be their first option. So
okay.
I also have some scanners. So
Yeah.
mostly I use like Akunetis. So I use
Yeah.
Akunetis only that. But it is my final result. Something it's not just something that I have a target now. I begin the operation with it. So I even use it for something that I don't really want to do for lazy job. So that's what I use those scanners for. Now let me just do it anyhow. So bug
Yeah.
bounty hunting becomes the manner.
Okay, that's really I'm really what I've heard so far. I'm really blown. I'm really surprised because I think most people have this different knowledge. Most people that are not into it have this different concept of what bug bounty actually is. But I'm sure once people subscribe to this course or once people get into the course, they would get to hear more. So you said something really important, which I keep saying and I say it every day. If you are getting into cybersecurity, because now cybersecurity is everywhere, everybody's hearing cybersecurity, and it's mainly because of the money. I had one of my students reach out to me, and he asked me, um, uh, um, how much do entry-level cybersecurity staff typically make in Nigeria? Because I saw that in US they make I think $95,000 per year, blah blah blah. And I told him that exactly. So actually, he has gone through some of the programs and also is trying to get a job. So I was not telling, yeah, I was not telling him that in Nigeria, there's no specific amount that you can say is the salary of cybersecurity professionals, because one, it depends on your role, it depends on your career, your cybersecurity pathway. Because someone that is into maybe malware and reverse engineering might be making more money than someone that is maybe in a SOC, that is in an SOC, because there are some roles that are difficult to find people doing those things. So obviously, those people might be paid much. Also, what now determines, again, if you are working as a cybersecurity professional in a bank, is different from working as a cybersecurity professional in a maybe consulting firm, because obviously the banks have money, so they get to pay well. It's different from working as a cybersecurity professional in maybe a startup or in a fintech. So these things play different roles as to how much you get paid. But then I now told him that maybe you might be looking at I'll just give him like a basis. I said you could be looking at maybe 150 as entry. That's even if you get a good paying job. And then his response was, I can't remember his response. So I said, is it not what you expected to hear? And he said no, that he thought it to be higher and all. So I understood his point of view, but I always tell people that when trying to get into any role in cybersecurity at all, money should not be your main motivation or your first motivation, because you could get disappointed when you do something. I think they'll pay you 500,000. You might end up paying less. If maybe you do bug bounty and you are seeing payments of maybe they tell you for this thing is $10, $20, blah blah blah, and you'll be like, I thought I'll get 1,000 at once, $1,000 at once. So you will just get frustrated, because what you are looking for at that point is money, 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 and not to, first of all, create value or just get something and improve. So money is good, but obviously, if that is your main motivation to getting started into cybersecurity and even bug bounty as a pathway, then it's person might struggle in the end. So that was really good. Now just to further, as we conclude, for those that are still watching, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I will also leave Koi's social media handles on the screen, so that you can subscribe to his Twitter and his other social media accounts. But also don't forget to like this video and share, subscribe, because again, we do videos relating to cybersecurity, career, tech, and online safety in general. So consider subscribing. And so, just to why, as we round off, can you sort of discuss some real world applications or impacts of bug bounty hunting and VAPT? Like, how has it improved cybersecurity of maybe organizations or people in general?
Both the bug bounty hunting and conducting or offering penetration testing service. So has helped both the organizations and the researchers. For example, it allows the researcher to monetize their skills, because we have a lot of good hackers that they also want to make money. So instead of abusing their knowledge, so they can easily divert their hacking skills and begin start to participate in the bug bounty hunting. So it serves as additional source of income for the researchers, for the ethical hackers. So, and for the organizations too, it also helps them to improve
Okay.
their security. So, because if a researcher has any discovery and responsibly reports it to them, so it creates a mutual relationship
Yeah.
between both the hackers and the
Yeah.
organization. It's bridge the gap. So even before the malicious hackers, so whoever
Yeah.
wants to hack, so even the malicious hackers that also want to hack, may consider that, oh, this company has a bug bounty program. So instead of doing shit, let me responsibly, everybody wants to earn money in honor. So if I report an issue or a discovery to you, and you promise that, oh, you are willing to give me money. So of what use will I be masking my identity, or sorry, just report it to you. So, and it is also if not for the bug bounty hunting or the ethical hacking generally. So I wouldn't be talking about hacking publicly, because so the ethical hacking, the bug bounty hunting has reformed the whole image of the hacking. So even from where I came from, I mean, in my hometown, many people see me hacker, as if they are fraudsters or cyber criminals. But by participating in the bug bounty hunting, responsibly disclosing security vulnerabilities to the company, so and by getting the good feedbacks from them, so it's also changed people's mindset that, oh, so is there anything ethical in hacking? So it is through this bug bounty that they know, oh, so I can hack and get paid. So it exposes them to many things too. So for it helps everyone to play his or her own part. Both the organizations that are commending and rewarding the researchers, and the researchers that are reporting the issues, we are all contributing to the safety of the internet. So everybody is playing his or her own parts. So in protecting the digital assets.
Yeah, thanks. For those that are watching, if you're a beginner and you just let me know where you currently are in terms of cybersecurity. Are you part of those that are trying to get into, maybe you just finished secondary school and you've been hearing cybersecurity and you want to get started? Let me know in the comment section. Or if you are someone that has already gotten some knowledge, maybe you've taken some paid courses or you've taken some stuff in cybersecurity. If you've even gotten maybe the certified in cybersecurity certification, like the basic certification, or you have some experience in cybersecurity, let me know where you currently are, and if you have any challenges, you can leave them in the comment sections. Any questions, we'll be there to answer those questions for you, because it's really important you get answers to your questions. So just the final question before we wrap up, more like our closing thoughts. What final piece of advice would you give to our viewers that want to subscribe to the course? Can you outline like some of the things that they expect to see in the course?
Firstly, just like I said earlier, this my ultimate bug bounty hunting course, so is A to Z ABC method. So that is, I have simplified the processes. So I explained, and I also covered different unique methods to manually hack or identify vulnerabilities in both websites and applications. And also, it also consists different ways of finding the unique platforms that have fewer hackers targeting them. So, and it also involves my live demonstrations of hacking. So how I've hacked, I also included different companies that I've worked for, so with resolved methods. So like how I used Google to bypass two-factor authentication. So many amazing things. So it is just a simple method. So and it is for even for those who have no prior hacking experience, because a lot of people's concerns are, oh, I'm not a coder, so I don't want to write code. So you don't even, most of the methods that I mentioned or discussed in the course requires zero coding skills. So that is, even if you have no coding knowledge or ideas, you can of course get it and start rewarding, identifying or hacking responsibly.
Yeah, so yeah, that's really important. I think it escaped my mind. So the aspect of, I'm sure people had this question, even some people must have already typed it in the comment section, that do I need to have knowledge of coding, which is which is like the question you get to hear in most beginners or most people ask when it comes to some roles in cybersecurity. So again, all these questions will be answered. I'm sure you would not want to, oh, like I said, it's not so compulsory, but like I said, it's always good to have knowledge of reading a code, but not necessarily how to code. But when you see something, you say, okay, this is what this code is most likely doing, but you might not necessarily have the ability to write. So again,
Explained,
depend.
I'll break down everything. So
Okay,
I demonstrated how to analyze the codes,
you
almost
can
everything.
you can see. So it's a very packed course. Yeah, I recall that it's a very packed course. So thank you all for watching. Again, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. You can share this video to your cybersecurity buddies or people that you're learning with, and I'm sure they will also find it useful. Please subscribe. Then also go to Core Emerald social media platforms that you would see on your screen. Follow him and subscribe to him. Then if you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section and I'll direct you or give you a response to best help you. So thank you. I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.